Hi, this is Will Knight, and we're back with another podcast of All About Nothing. And today we are at the Chicago Loop Alliance, and our guest for today is Miss Gibson. How are you this morning?
Good. How are you, Will?
Good. So introduce yourself to our audience.
Ariella Gibson, Director of Marketing and Communications at Chicago Loop Alliance.
Okay. And what is exactly the Chicago Loop Alliance? So for people who do not know.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are the sole service provider of State Street. We manage it from destination marketing services, an ambassador program that's a decade long.
Okay.
Safety and security, cleanliness. We really try and make the street as appealing to Chicagoans and visitors alike. We also produce free arts and culture programming through our foundation.
Really?
Yes, like Sundays on State. I don't know if you heard about it. And we are also a membership organization, so we represent a variety of different people and industries throughout the loop.
So what is Sundays on State? Let's go with that.
Yeah, okay. Sundays on State, it's a free interactive block party, we like to call it. We closed State Street for 5 blocks. It started in 2021 as a response to the pandemic. We wanted to encourage people to feel safe and enjoy downtown again. And that may not be in, coming to work every day, but it's in a summer block party.
Right.
So in those 5 years, we've really grown. It started with 8 events, a lot of work.
80?
8.
8 events.
Yeah.
8. I was about to say 80.
Weekends,
I'm
no.
like, that's all of summer.
No, I know. 8 Sundays in 2021 and 3 blocks, and now we've grown to 5 blocks, but reduced it to 2 Sundays because there's a plethora of other things going on in the city and especially in the Loop.
Yeah, but we want people to come down in the Loop though.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff still going in the Loop. We got Lollapalooza, you got Taste of Chicago.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's a lot of things going on that we want to be able to help support and amplify and not detract from. So yeah, it's a great time. It's food, arts and culture, shopping. 300 plus vendors and participants. So,
Really?
Yeah. A really
So
great time.
when does this start and when does it end?
Yeah, so in response to the pandemic, we started in the summer because that was a great time to encourage people to come downtown. But because there is so much going on in the summer and because we want to leverage the work of Sundays on State, we actually shifted our programming to the fall. So Sundays on State starts September 7th, and then the second one will be October 5th, and that's really what kicks off a month-long series of programming in October. We're calling it Falling for the Loop. So we have Sundays on State, October 5th. The next weekend, we have a niche film festival, Better Cities Film Festival, October 9th through the 11th. The weekend after that is the Arts in the Dark Parade. It closes State Street. It's an artist-forward parade.
I've been to that one. That's awesome.
Love it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like no frills, but all pomp, I guess I would say.
It's all pomp and circumstance.
Exactly,
it's all pomp and circumstance.
It's no political officials, no corporations. It's artists and the work that they do. It's dancers, like performance artists, fine arts, like everything that makes Halloween, honestly, like so cool and unique in a parade
and when
on
is that
State
one?
Street, October 18th.
October 18th, people, you got to come down to Chicago Loop. October 18th, State Street.
From Van Buren to Wacker. And then our final event is Lurking in the Loop Bar Crawl. It's the first Loop official Halloween bar crawl. 13 bars, October 25th from 8 p.m. to midnight. Very, very cool.
And when is this?
Extremely excited. October 25th.
Oh my God, we need a whole calendar now.
I've got one for you. LoopChicago.com/fall.
All right.
And then for the full month, we're going to have 20. His body's missing, but 8 feet skeletons on State Street, activated by different Loop or Chicago institutions like the Symphony Orchestra, DK's, Mindworks, different very cool, and unique enhancement of the street.
I need that information so we could put that on our website.
Will do.
So if you haven't already, please hit that button, subscribe and like if you like this podcast, but we're going to keep moving on. So tell me, how long have you worked down here?
I've been at Chicago Loop Alliance 5.5 years. I started here as marketing and communications assistant and worked my way up through the marketing and comms team. Yep.
And now your title is?
I'm now the director of marketing.
You're now the director. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me, the audience, the Loop now, versus, before the pandemic. I could still, it's interesting because when I first came down here and I used to work down in the Loop, you can never find street parking. Never. And it took me around, I would say 15 minutes to find somebody coming out and then out. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Right, I can swoop in, exactly. So tell me, because there's a lot of construction going on down here.
Yeah, it's actually been obviously a long road from the pandemic back to like our current state of the Loop. But the neighborhood, and I think we can confidently call it a neighborhood now, not just a central business district, has shifted. It's 45,000 residents living in the Loop. It's almost 100,000 students, whether they be university students or high school students. It's still the hundreds of thousands of workers that are coming here every day.
University of Chicago.
DePaul, UIC has a satellite campus, Adler University, Roosevelt. You're testing me.
I am. It used to be Robert Morris, but
Robert Morris is now UIC.
UIC. Oh, is it really? Okay.
Oh, shoot.
That's okay. We'll figure it out.
More.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
There's more, exactly.
And
Columbia.
Columbia College. That's right.
I couldn't move past that without yes. It's a wide variety of people. The demographics of the Loop have changed. Also, the usage has changed. Typically it was a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, kind of dipped after that sun went down. But now a large driver of our economy or activity is arts and culture. So those theaters are bustling. The Art Institute is record-breaking attendance.
Yeah, it's interesting because you have the Art Institute, you have a couple other smaller museums. I believe the Pritzker Museum is down here as well.
Pritzker Museum moved, actually, so they're no longer in Chicago.
Okay.
But
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But you do have the Chicago Contemporary Arts Museum down here.
We have the Chicago Photography Museum.
Okay.
Smaller museums like Medieval Torch Museum. Like it's been an expansion of what attractions mean since the pandemic. A lot more like interactive attractions, like Instagrammable moments type of thing, which I think does encourage the younger generations of visitors in Chicagoans to experience.
They all love their selfies, and we all love our selfies, so we always have to get an Instagram picture.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for I believe it was it's not Franklin, where Chicago Board of Trade, the building is at. Jackson. I'm waiting for like an Instagram booth to come there. So this is like just a frame, and in the background is the Board of Trade building.
Well, Board of Trade does have a new museum now.
Oh, really?
And you can make anything Instagrammable. So
there you go.
It's free and open to the public.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
very
right.
cool, actually.
I have to get them on my podcast now. All right. So tell me, what else is about the Loop? Because you have a lot of residents live down here now. I know that's been going on for at least 10 years, if not more.
Yeah.
How is that affecting the Loop?
I think it's incredibly positive. Chicago Loop Alliance in 2020 kind of like gave ourselves this moniker of everyone's neighborhood, and that's because of all the things I mentioned about like how diverse and representative of the city of Chicago the Loop is. Like everybody comes to the Loop to do something that they might not be able to do in their own neighborhoods, but a big part of that is also the people who live here on a day-to-day basis. And that's grown, especially since the pandemic. People want to be centrally located to their workplace. Like they've got hybrid environments now, so they don't want to go far.
Right.
You have everything at your fingertips. You've got arts and culture, the lakefront, the parks, the
bike path.
The bike path.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting because I grew up on the South Side in Chatham. In Chatham, Auburn, Gresham area. And what was interesting is I'm a huge biker. Or shall I say I used to be a huge biker. So I literally used to go down to 31st Street Beach, drive down there, park, and then bike all the way down here. And then on my way back, or sometimes I'll bike to Highland Park, then on the way back to 31st Street, I would let me take a detour around the Loop area. It's not for speed, it's just for cruising, sightseeing, just to see who's here on the weekend.
People watching.
It's people watching, exactly. Have a cup of coffee, park my bike, and then eventually I had to go home, back to 31st Street. So I was like, this is a long ride home.
But like you can't really do that in many places around the country, but also in the city, like all roads effectively lead to the Loop.
Yeah.
And we wanted to really take care of that gravity of what we have here, the
Yeah.
assets we have here. So residents and students and workers
Yeah.
like all make that dynamic use
Oh,
of
yeah.
our Loop, and we're nothing without them.
Right.
And it's definitely like
Because the students live down here. You have ABC, NBC Tower, CBS
yeah,
at the
Fox,
corner,
yeah,
Fox,
yeah.
Which is
So,
interesting. Yeah, I used to work by the Aqua Building.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
we have an event there tomorrow. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the event, or you can't do that?
I can't do that.
Okay. Shh. Can't say that. Can't say anything else about that. Okay. So, what other public events does the Chicago Loop have?
Right now, the programming that I mentioned is all of our like public programming for the
Okay.
year, but we're talking about our 2026 and even 2027
Okay.
plans and what those mean for growing the work of Sundays on State. In the past, we've had a pretty popular event series called
Yeah.
Activate.
Okay.
We used to activate literally alleys in the Loop with
Oh yeah.
drinks and music and art, and it
Yeah.
was like after work type, kind of like divey, like, ooh, what is this going on here? Just like
Right.
stumble into it, and it's a party.
Yeah, it used
Very,
to be
very
right
cool.
in the alley between Chicago.
Chicago Theater
Theater.
and Walgreens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
that was one of
Walgreens.
our most popular ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like from that morphed into Sundays on State, and hopefully we want to morph into something like that people want first of
Yeah.
all, but also that is more useful and effective for the work that we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, not to say we've outgrown Sundays on State because it's a 5-lane street with
Right.
300 participants, but what else can we do?
Yeah.
What can we challenge ourselves to do to, help address the storefront vacancy issue, help address, more investment in the Loop, and encourage residents,
Yeah.
Loop residents, to enjoy their city, like provide them the services that they want. How can we support and amplify arts and culture going on? So
Yeah.
what are those plans? I don't know, but hopefully it's something that can effectively target all those things.
Yeah, it's interesting because I noticed I really didn't think about the State of Illinois building being torn down. And I know because it's been on the news and publications as being torn down for Google. And I was parking, I was walking here, and I realized, and I didn't even realize that, oh yeah, where's the DMV now? I'm like, it has to be down here.
Yeah.
And literally I walked right by
past
it,
it.
right
Yeah.
past it. I was like, now this is upgraded, it's an upgraded real
Yeah,
estate.
no longer in the dungeon.
Yeah, it's like beautiful building
Yeah.
in the lobby. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is an upgrade from the old State of Illinois
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, I stood in that building just a couple weeks ago to get a new license, and it's much better
Yeah.
experience.
How
Yeah.
fast is it now?
It was still a couple of hours.
Okay,
but,
all right.
I mean, it was not painful.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
And
that's
I
good.
waited too long, so I'm not going to blame the DMV.
You're not going to play the DMV? You had to get that federal
Yeah,
stamp on it so you can
exactly.
fly?
Yes, exactly. I'm like, I'm heading to Puerto Rico,
There
so
you
I
go.
need this.
There you go.
But no, like you mentioned earlier, like the investment in the Loop recently has
Yeah.
really helped, I think, restore confidence in the
Mm-hmm.
district. Like millions of dollars going into the Thompson Center redevelopment,
Right.
office to residential conversion. Chase Tower deciding to like reinvest in their space. Like it's just, I think it's frustrating, obviously, when you're looking for a parking space or trying to take
Right,
the bus and it's a
right,
reroute or whatever.
right.
But in the end, all those things are going to, one, positively impact the Loop, which positively impacts the city of Chicago because it's such a vital
Oh yeah,
economic
it's a
engine.
heartbeat,
It's
right?
literally,
You have the
yeah.
Chicago Board of Trade, the Stock Exchange, you have the Federal Reserve down here.
Yeah.
We have the Chicago Loop Alliance down here. You have a couple shows, and let's talk about Broadway.
Yeah.
So we have our own Broadway, not as in New York Broadway, but we have our own theater district down
Yes.
here.
Yeah. Broadway in Chicago, a major part of that. Also, some other like smaller independent organizations
Yeah.
like Goodman Theater and the Auditorium, and all of them really drive, honestly, like what Chicago Loop Alliance and the Loop in general need to provide to visitors. Like if a theater patron doesn't
Right.
feel welcome or doesn't feel like they have, a dinner and a show to go to,
Right.
are we a successful district?
Yeah.
I think the answer is no. So honestly, a lot of the work Chicago Loop Lines has been doing this last year is we've gathered together the majority of Loop arts organizations and created the Loop Arts District Caucus.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So again, like a bunch of the work that they're doing, the caucus is working on, is to one, define the district, two, provide data on the economic impact of an arts district that's already here, much less like what we could provide if we had the resources to, and three, to like codify and sell that this is working. The arts and culture, as our president and CEO likes to say, is the secret sauce of the Loop.
Yeah.
And how can we best support those things? Because if they're not here, we aren't
here. Yeah, what's interesting is I love like the statues downtown, the Picasso, the art galleries, and it's interesting because when I come down here, I take the bus or the train, and I make a day out of it because it's like, why just go to this museum or the Contemporary Art Museum and I could go to the Bean or just walk around and then maybe take in a show.
Yeah.
But of course, everybody wants food.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part.
Yeah.
Is Chicago is this food industry.
Yeah, and that suffered mightily from the pandemic, and especially in the Loop from the very slow return to the office.
Yeah.
And the office worker, their mindset has shifted, their wallet has shifted, their timing has shifted.
Right.
Like everything, all of those things, just even by 30 minutes affects how a restaurant operates.
Oh yeah.
And the last 5 years have been really hard in like navigating what's the best outcome for us.
Right.
Are we a breakfast place? Are we a lunch and dinner only? Are we happy hour through the shows and then close while they're in shows, or all the things? And that then changes the dynamic and usage of the Loop. So we want to be a full mixed use urban destination that's open essentially 24/7, and that takes a long time to get back to.
Oh yeah, it's interesting because a couple months ago I was just passing by. I was down here. I was driving, and I saw the Goodman Theater, and then all of a sudden I saw like a group of people heading over to the restaurants, and I'm like, oh, I hope they made reservations.
Yeah, like when you're on the way to a show or just like going home and you're seeing people around 6:30, it's like pretty much all the restaurants in the Loop are busy if they're near a theater, because you're like, I'm going to get my cocktail and a piece of bread and then head into the show.
Right.
And that, I think, really creates a thriving economy, but we want to like extend that to beyond just that 2-hour stretch when theater season is going on, and like how can we be that destination 24/7, 365.
Of course, right. So we're going to wrap this up because this has been very informational, but I want to go over the events again.
Yeah.
So September
7th, 2 weeks away. Sundays on State, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on State Street from Jackson to Randolph.
Okay.
And then it returns October 5th, same time, same place, 11 a.m., 6 p.m., Jackson to Randolph. And then for the month of October, we've got 4 other great things. Better Cities Film Festival, October 9th through the 11th. Arts in the Dark Parade, October 18th on State Street from Van Buren to Wacker. And a Lurking in the Loop bar crawl, October 25th, 8 p.m. to midnight, 13 different bars around the Loop.
Okay.
And then for the full month of October, we have Skeletons on State. So
Skeletons on State, bring your kids on down.
Bring your kids, bring your camera, take a cute picture of all the oversized skeletons.
Exactly.
And tag us.
Exactly. So what's the website?
Loopchicago.com.
Okay.
You can find anything you want there, but if you want to particularly find the Falling for the Loop program, go to loopchicago.com/fall.
All right. And that's it with All About Nothing. And this is Will Knight, your host and creator, and we'll talk to you guys next week.